Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My goodness me, what an exhausting speech that was that we've just heard. But it was exhausting to listen to, Mr. Goff. It really was. The energy that went into it was magnificent. The delivery was loud and violent. But it was yesterday's speech. It was yesterday's speech. And that's the words of my colleague here. Yesterday's speech from yesterday's man. I don't know about that. Hopefully there's a chance for him yet tomorrow, perhaps, in the leadership debate. However, let's use this general debate, not for talking about yesterday's news, but in fact, the fact that the government recognises the rural sector in New Zealand has the economic backbone through agriculture, aquaculture, horticulture, viticulture, and so it goes on. $30 billion, Mr. Speaker, in primary sector exports. $30 billion. This government wants to double that by 2025. Double it. New opportunities have seen the government and the industry committing $658 million for 13 projects over the past 3 years in research and development. Potential benefit is over $7 billion per year from 2025. $7 billion. $7 billion. This makes our economy innovative by making our primary industries sector more innovative. It's been, Mr. Speaker, a season of two halves, as any farmer will know. We even had the West Coast being declared a drought area. Where? West Coast, South Island. And it was rugged, and it's still tough for the farmers there. But nonetheless, there is positive news. Golden kiwi fruit, for instance, is absolutely delicious, and I'd encourage anyone to buy it. The viticulture boys, I'm told, are doing quite nicely out of the prolonged dry period and good sunshine. West Coast Westland Milk Products, second largest dairy company in New Zealand. Part of the New Zealand economic solution with export-led opportunities. I was speaking to their CEO today, Rod Quinn. Turnover is expected to be $700 million. They've invested $700 million from the West Coast. They've invested $60 million in new technology and processing. There's direct economic benefit last season of $390 million in milk payments and wages within the community. That's $13,000 per woman and child on the coast. Total economic benefit with a multiplier effect means the dairy industry is by far the biggest sector and the key sector for West Coast development. Growth rates. Another 10% growth over the next 4 years is to supply ever-growing demand for the safe, high-quality, good food that's produced from Hokitika and the people there. I'm proud to be associated with them and the team that they have at Westland Milk. Mr. Speaker, cross-portfolio funding, as we heard this afternoon, for science, innovation and research has increased 28% in the last 4 years, up to $1.36 billion in 2013-14.
That's good.
It is good. It's good news. As you say, my colleague on my right here, Scott Simpson, it's good news. But there is, sadly, bad news if things go funny. And when I'm talking about things go funny, if they go funny politically. If we were to have the much vaunted, in some quarters, Labour-Green coalition, the snarly political combo, how many have had a background in real agriculture? I think I could count around and I would say two on that side of the House. Second, and let's see, though, what they would actually do in terms of what I consider bad news. Labour-Green coalition, the following measures would be put into place to drastically hinder the primary sector for purely ideological reasons. I can think of 3 points immediately. Labour-Green coalition would introduce a capital gains tax, including a 15% capital gains tax on all farm gate sales.
Very bad.
Not only would farmers have to pay the tax, farm values would dramatically decline as they would be less attractive investments for people. A Labour-Green coalition would immediately bring agricultural emissions into the ETS, imposing large costs on both farmers and rural businesses. A Labour-Green coalition would impose higher income and company taxes. And if that wasn't bad enough, that's what they want to do. But here's what they don't want to do. A Labor Green coalition would oppose future investment fund, irrigation and water storage development.
That's right.
They would knock reforms to allow greater aquaculture development in Marlborough Sounds. It would, Mr Speaker, be a disaster.
That's right.
Excellent speech.
I call the honourable